Oh, hello, folks. This is Steve A. For y'all. I just got in. Was shopping. Oh, I'll have a video from that. Not the shopping, but where I was to shop. So anyway, this old donkey tired himself out this afternoon doing yard work. Yeah, it just reminds me of being on the kibbutz. Actually, a moment ago, I was looking at some Israeli news. Yeah, on the kibbutzim, I did field work. So that's like yard work. I'm not promoting anything, I'm not recommending anything, but when you've been someplace, you might read a headline and it just stands right out because you know where it is. Times of Israel. Latest articles. It's this one right here. It's the second one at the moment. Man shot dead in northern Arab town of UMM-AL-FAHM. Why would I have clicked on it? Would it be because I've been to UMM-AL-FAHM? Could it be that because I lived, the last kibbutz I was on before I came back to the United States 50 years ago was like me driving from here to Asheboro to UMM-AL-FAHM. Have I ever been in UMM-AL-FAHM? Yes, 1968. I've been in it. A guy was an Arab from the Mapam party we were at an educational series and he took us to two Arab towns and he was himself an Arab. He lived in UMM-AL-FAHM. We went to his house. We went up on the roof. And all right, now what I'm about to say, you'll see that it might fit into this story. 1968. An Israeli Arab, born, raised in UMM-AL-FAHM, giving mitnadvim to volunteers like us, an indoctrination tour of the Arab side of Israel. We go to UMM-AL-FAHM. We went to two places. We went to UMM-AL-FAHM, to his house, and up onto the roof so that we could see the town. And he said, 5 families run this town. He said, usually you only choose your bride and get married to someone in your area. But I saw her and we were standing there and he said it was, tried to point to how far across UMM-AL-FAHM it was where she lived under a different mafia group, so to speak. He says, I wanted her, I married her. I went against what they said in UMM-AL-FAHM. That's what he told us. This is standing on the roof of his house. Man shot dead in northern town of UMM-AL-FAHM. Anti-violence watchdog says 189 members of the Arab community slain in violent incidents since the beginning of this year, 2024. This picture is illustrative. Police at the scene of a shooting in UMM-AL-FAHM, September 23rd, 2024. Today's the 20th of, it's not even a month later. A man was shot dead Sunday evening. See, they're 6 hours, 7 hours ahead of us, whatever it is. It's Sunday evening now. A man was shot dead Sunday evening in the northern town of UMM-AL-FAHM, the Israel Police said, marking the 5th member of the Arab-Israeli community to die in street shootings in the past 4 days. And I'm assuming they mean that in Israel, as opposed to, but it could mean in UMM-AL-FAHM. Medics declared the slain man dead at the scene. Police said the man's identity was not immediately known. Officers who arrived opened an investigation and combed the scene for clues, while others were taking testimony from eyewitnesses. The police are investigating the motive. His death comes after 3 members of the Arab-Israeli community were shot dead. Now, today is Sunday. His death comes after 3 members of the Arab-Israeli community were shot dead in separate incidences on Wednesday and Thursday. According to the Coexistence and Anti-Violence Watchdog of the Abraham Initiatives, 189 members of the Arab community, notice how they phrase that, have been killed in homicide since the start of the year. And they don't mean Jews shot them. They don't mean Jews shot them. They mean they're killing each other. That's what they're actually talking about. Of these, 157 were shot dead. The sentence doesn't make sense. And over a third, 70, were under the age of 30. During the same period last year, the toll stood at 207. Oh, they need to catch up. Now, some of the way they write this has to do with the political outlook. I don't mean Israeli political outlook. I mean in the same sense as the crap that goes on in this country. The way they write it has to do, you can kind of tell. Violent crime has been on the rise in Israel's Arab community. Many Arab-Israeli community leaders put the blame for the wave of murders on the police. Sounds like the States. Who they say have failed to crack down on powerful criminal organizations. Now, listen to the rest of this. Powerful criminal organizations, and largely ignore the violence. They must mean largely ignore the violence in the Arab towns, which includes family feuds, mafia turf wars. What? Did they use the word mafia? There are no Italians there. There's no Sicilianos there. Oh, they mean in the generic sense. When I started this, I told you that we were standing on somebody's roof in UMM-AL-FAHM in 1968, and he said the town was run by 5 families. And you might have thought I was slurring them when I hinted at mafia-like families. This is a very, not the most liberal Israeli newspaper. Mafia turf wars? And violence against women? You know what the violence against women is, don't you? No, it's not rape. It's not rape. It's honor killings. I've made videos before where I've told you about my direct experience sitting, listening to somebody who was from a town, like a 12 or 13-year-old girl got caught holding hands in a room with a boy that wasn't her brother. And her younger brother took her out to the village well and cut her throat in front of the whole town to save the honor of the family. And they left the body there, according to this guy who was from that town and saw it. And after 3 days, when the police made a routine visit through the town, they found the body and nobody saw anything. And then the oldest male of the family, the brother, confessed to it to save the family's honor. And he was convicted and sent to jail, and everybody knew that it wasn't him. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. Hang on, let's see if it's headline news. High-ranking Israeli officer killed in northern Gaza. Colonel Ehsan, they spell it differently, Gaza. I can tell from the name of these, the Druze, and I checked it out in these Druze. Oh, they haven't caught up with it yet. No, they haven't caught up with it yet. Not important enough to them. It's not the kind of stuff they want to report. Ynet News. No. No. See this one. In the other one, they spelled his name, they transliterated it as D-A-X-A. Here it's D-A-Q-S-A, which I think is closer to the way it should be. And no, they haven't caught up with the UMM-AL-FAHM murder. They may not think it's significant. Who knows? Who knows? But you see, the reason why I'm interested in was just down the road from the last place where I was, and I've been to UMM-AL-FAHM. Now, what does UMM-AL-FAHM mean? Mother of charcoal. UMM-AL-FAHM. UMM. Is like the Hebrew ima. It's a long ago root, Semitic languages. UMM-AL-FAHM. Charcoal in Hebrew is peham. Fahim. Mother of the charcoal. What does that mean? Oh, were they showing, there we go. Let me explain it. There's Megiddo. That's the Jezreel Valley. There's a mountain range here from upper left to down to lower right. And this area right here, Menashe, is where the last place I was. And this road Route 65 goes through Wadi Ara. You see what they did? Wadi Araba? Why don't you give me the place I asked for? What the hell's the matter with their AI? I spelled it correctly. I spelled it correctly. What's the matter with the Google search engine? Pardon me. I spelled it correctly. The Iran forest. Come on, stop screwing with me. The search engine's worth crap. Now, the entrance to Wadi Ara is approximately here. Here's a town, Ara, an Arab day worker that was really nice to us. Took us there in 1974, my last year in Israel, for the Eid al-Adha celebration at his home, where he, you know, Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac. They have the parallel, yes, and that's the Eid al-Adha. And sacrificed the ram caught in the bushes rather than him. Same story. So yes, what's the matter with the map? I can't move it. What's the matter with the map? What's the matter with these people? Why can't I move it? What are they up to? Now we're going through the wadi. Okay, we're going through the wadi. What's a wadi? The rains wash out a weakness in the mountains and create a passageway from the coastal plain to the Jeshua Valley so that you don't have to climb over a mountain. It's called a wadi. The eastern frontier of ancient Egypt with the pharaohs was at Wadi al-Arish on the Mediterranean coast, just south of what is today known as Gaza. So you can go to the UMM-AL-FAHM art gallery. See, that was one of the pictures. They want to show off the good stuff. There's the road. That's considerably widened and improved from the time I was there. Do you understand now what it means to say wadi? See, everything is built up on the hills, looking down on the wadi. You'll pardon me. This is headed toward the Jeshua Valley. Just want to give you a feeling for where this stuff is and what the towns might look like. All right? This is in central Israel. separation between the coastal plain and the Jezreel Valley. Boy, this road is really different. Oh, there's got a traffic jam? Do you think there's a traffic light? Do you think this might be something like UMM-AL-FAHM, where you can turn off? They got a graffiti there too? What does the sign say? If you go back that way that we came from, you go to Hadera. Barzilai falafels. We're going into town. We're going into UMM-AL-FAHM. It sure is more built up than when I was there. It says UMM-AL-FAHM Haifa District. This is UMM-AL-FAHM. Okay? You notice did you notice that I know my way around even after 50 years? That the one traffic light in the middle of the wadi, what do you think it would turn off to? UMM-AL-FAHM. And this road wasn't there when I was there. That? No, that's not the way it was. Okay? This is UMM-AL-FAHM. Pardon me. Is it a major troublesome town? Yes. The Israelis have even talked about if there was some kind of agreement with Jordan that they would shift that over to Jordan and just get rid of them. I'm talking about ancient history now, right? See at the tangents I go off and just see a name I know? Mother of charcoal. That's what the name means. Now let me ask you something. If you had a town up in the hills like that, how would you make your living? You saw that it was a city. What do they do? What do they do? Main occupation and businesses. Let's see how the AI does. In UMM-AL-FAHM. Substack. Oh, wait a minute. Substack, 1 year ago. A blog about art, politics, and shared society in Israel. And the title of this is, UMM-AL-FAHM, is it even safe to go there? I've never seen this before. For UMM-AL-FAHM, this means that few businesses other than retail shops are based in UMM-AL-FAHM, and most of the working population has to look. All right, this was written November 9th, 2022. Series of, it's about the art existence. Oh, there you go. I'll be publishing in the next few weeks about the background to an art exhibit opening at the museum at Kibbutz Ein Harod. I haven't been to Ein Harod, but I know where it is. It's a show of the retrospective works of 5 artists from one extraordinary family, the Abu Shakras of UMM-AL-FAHM. So this would be, all right. He's an American-born journalist. He's Jewish. But wait a minute. Close that. There's a picture of UMM-AL-FAHM. Which direction is this view? I'm challenging you. Which direction is this view? North, south, east, or west? The mountain range starts at Haifa at the Mount Carmel and runs more or less southeasterly. So northwest of that mountain range is the Jezreel Valley, where Devorah got the bad boys that thought they were going to take over. You remember Deborah? The book of Judges? Lured them in the rainy season in the winter, and their chariots sunk in, and the foot soldiers just ran and beheaded all the soldiers. Easy takings, easy peasy. So this is pretty populated. You saw that it's up on the rise, not down in the wadi. Covers a lot of area. Do you think off in the distance you're seeing Jordan, or are you seeing the Mediterranean? Do you think you're seeing the Jezreel Valley, or you're seeing the coastal plain of Israel? It's easy. You're seeing the Jezreel Valley. A lot of things happen in the Jezreel Valley. See, I'd never seen this before. So he's talking about the artists. Israel police responding after 2017 shootings at the Temple Mount. The city has, this is two years ago, the city has also been struck by a crime wave that has swept over, they were talking about 2 years ago, that has swept over Israel's Arab towns in recent years, with 11 murders there, meaning in UMM-AL-FAHM, in 2021 alone. And it invariably seems to be the junction of UMM-AL-FAHM and Highway 65. Remember, we turned at the light to go up to UMM-AL-FAHM? That periodically the police clash violently with demonstrators because they want to get the hell out of Israel. They're all Fatah. The most notable example was in October 2000, when 3 residents of UMM-AL-FAHM were among the 12 Arab citizens plus 1 Philistine from Gaza killed by the police during violent protests that took place following the start of the Second Intifada. On rare occasions, now remember, I've been to UMM-AL-FAHM. On rare occasions, when Israeli Jews or tourists do venture into UMM-AL-FAHM, this guy is highlighting a family of 5 that had 5 really good artists from UMM-AL-FAHM. So think of what his outlook is and listen to the wording. I've never seen this before. On the rare occasions when Israeli Jews or tourists do venture into UMM-AL-FAHM, it's usually a visit to the gallery directed by Saeed Abu Shakra and founded by him together with his brother Farid. The gallery takes up 3 floors of if they dare to go there, so you go up those steps. Look, I've just picked something out at random. Have I conveyed to you what it's like in UMM-AL-FAHM? Then and now. There are 5 families in this town. I wanted to marry her, I did it, even though I went against. See, my way of thinking about Israel is fairly complex, and it's wound up with some of my personal experiences, even though they were 50 years ago. And in a certain way, nothing has changed. the more things change, the more they stay the same. Steve A.B. Foyal saying see you in 73.